Oh, hey, what's up? Yeah, so it's one of those weird weeks where there's really not a lot to do unless you're one of those people that wants to do tower, but ugh, gross, no thanks. So yeah, otherwise you just kind of sit around, you stare at your viz, and you think, let me look at that card this week. Is that card cool to pull? I don't know. So I'll just sit around all day and I'll wait, and I'll wait, and I'll wait, and I'll hope, and I'll hope, and I'll dream that maybe there's a video that will come out and tell me if it's cool to pull. Well, hey, that video is here. You're welcome. So we'll get into that in a second. But man, not without me telling you about my week, right? Right? Actually, more about my month. I don't know. You might have caught on to the fact that my car's been in various stages of service. Some like I was getting some body work done on it, and then like it had to go get some engine work done and stupid gibberish stuff. But like what came out of this is that I've pretty much spent like the last month with a rental car, which I don't know if you've driven a rental car, but I don't even know how this is possible. But a lot of these cars just like don't even have like the auxiliary option, like for you to attach your phone and play your iTunes. Yes, that's right. I'm not talking about Shopify, fools. I'm talking about like playing your iTunes or like your own music, because that's what I'm all about. I'm all about albums. Just goes back to my love and appreciation for bands and music. But point being, yeah, so I've had to listen to the radio, which has been a real drag. But then, well, I mean, I guess like I warmed up to it, but it's been a process because I typically hate the radio. It just like, in my mind is always like scratchy, and gotta deal with commercials and whatnot, and weirdo MCs or DJs, whoever they are, initials that just, I don't know, like to talk a lot, and maybe I like to hear you, maybe I don't, but typically I'm just listening to the radio to listen to music, so you all annoy me. But point being, yeah, I had to listen to a ton of radio because I didn't have any choice. And so I spent like the last month with the top 40, which was kind of eye-opening for me because I typically just listen to my own music. That's kind of what I do. And then I had to like get myself acquainted with, I guess, I mean, it's probably, what do they play? Like when they say top 40, I think they're really just like playing like the last decade of music, and like predominantly the last 5 years. And then like up from that, then they boost up the top 40. But like, I felt like there were like maybe 1 or 2 songs that I walked away from this month being like, okay, like I might download that on iTunes, like, like Correlation, if Napster was still a thing, I would go get you on my Napster. But it was interesting. Like nowadays they have like catchy like mental health songs. For me, it was like, you want to talk about mental health? Well, we've got Tori Amos for that, and she's excellent at it. But catchy pop? No, not so much. But like, it's just a little catchy tune. Numb Little Bug, I think it's called. That was pretty catchy, and but mostly the problem was that every once in a while they would like stray from the top 40 and like dive into like what they probably thought were like super ancient songs, like oldies. But it was like why are you working Backstreet Boys into this? Why are you working in sync? Like I felt embarrassed for the radio station for like mixing in these old boy bands, and I didn't want to call them old because calling them old makes me feel old, and it's just this vicious cycle of oldness, and that's not good for me or my mental health. So it was kind of weird because like every once in a while, like they'd throw something on that I'd be like, oh yeah, cool, like this is nostalgic, and then I would be like, oh, they're throwing this out for old people like me that just want to feel nostalgic, and then I just it was a downer. And then like other than that, like when you go into the advertisements part of this whole thing, like listening to that for a whole month, I felt like it kind of turned me into this like weird mother-in-law character, where I was now like so jam-packed with like all this information about like local businesses that I would just like, you know, spew onto anybody that came near. All right, so we're gonna have to shelf the mother-in-law voice because it was kind of hideous, and I had to make the call there. I mean, I've been told before that my Cindy from Final Fantasy 15 voice was kind of hideous, but I don't agree with that. Absolutely, like that voice, like I love that voice, but apparently I was aware as I was doing it that this mother-in-law voice was hideous. So we're gonna shelf that for a bit. But I will say that listening to this radio station and learning about all the things you could possibly do instead of getting surgery, for example, you could just inject your own blood or blood marrow or bone marrow, sorry, into your spot of pain, and then it would just kind of like your body would just like heal itself versus getting surgery. Like that's a cool tip. That's great. Radio advertisements are full of local cool tips. So if you're looking for a cool tip and you've got a local radio station that maybe you trust, because that's the thing. I can't really trust them. Maybe turn on your radio and like get some answers from them. Take some notes and some phone numbers down because they're all about it. All right, let's just go in to learn about this because this editing job is going to get too much tonight, and I'm not in the mood for editing. No way, no how. All right, so here we have, what is this? Why are you on the top? You paid banner, you are vision card guaranteed 10 times 7. For paid viz. All right, this seems like a little bit sneaky. We've got anniversary around the corner, and they like to give out select. Usually, I don't know. Okay, so normally I'm happy to talk to you like freely, but I feel like I'm being spied on because I keep saying things and they keep, I don't know, coming true and stuff like that. So I'm gonna be like a little cautious here, but I don't like this banner. I don't want to pay paid viz right now. I want to save my paid viz for the anniversary. Thank you very much. So let's go down to what we're supposed to. Oh, actually, I see that card. That's a good card for Gunners too. This one. With our good friend Lucia is a really good card, featured front and center. So another good thing, I know that we're going to talk about a little shooter up card tonight, so that's something I will say, but I don't necessarily like this banner because it's paid viz and that's an old VC, and I feel like when anniversary comes around, like maybe you'll have some other options for VCs that you might want to get, things like that. Again, I don't want to jinx it and put ideas into their heads, so because you know they're all listening to me for sure. Here is the card of the week, Pursuer. It is a UR Vision card, and it's featuring Luartha, which, some of you know how I feel about her. Well, actually, this is actually a work in progress, my feelings about Luartha, because, voice-wise, not my favorite. But then, man, she has like come a long way. I remember really and of course, I will warn you up front, spoiler alerts on the story, which I tend to read. I know some people just like skip and just take the viz, whatever. But I do really enjoy the story, and she really came around for the first time when her and Victoria had like this like one-on-one where they kind of talked, and she kind of talked about her experience, and I warmed up to her there. But the latest another story installment where she spends a good deal of time with Wrath, I thought was another really great Luartha moment. So warming up to Luartha slowly. So I don't mind her being front and center with like all of her like shoot 'em up excitement. So let's go see what this card's about and whether or not it's all looks or what. All right, so Luartha relentlessly chased after Katona as she traveled to request reinforcements to Bordy's castle. However, she had no intention of impeding Katona. partly because she wanted no hand in something that would benefit the sanctum, but also because she was somewhat awed by Catone's fervent dedication to her mission. Luartha was a created being, a homunculus, given the name Sorrow, but even after escaping this appellation, she continued to lament her own existence. After meeting Victora and learning what it means to be alive, she sought to live as a human being, and she cared little for which side of the moral line she stood on in order to do so. Continuing to live a life full of annoying laughter would bring an end to her sorrow. Her only hope was to pursue living that way, no matter where it might take her. The woman by Luartha's side hopes that her friend's face will always be covered in a dimpled smile as she pursues the life she desired, and that she will be smiling alongside her as well. Oh, that is really sweet. That is very sweet. Must digest this. Alright, so let's see. The party ability will be magic attack resistance up 24, critical hit rate up 20, and then missile attack up 35, which is absolutely excellent for your missile units on this team. But who is your team? Oh, a bunch of people that just like strike with axe. So yeah, they're not missiling anybody up. No, not even a bunch. 3. Viking, Savage King is Strider. And then we have Gunner, Dual Gunner, Machinist, Gunner, King of the Stags, Crownsguard Marksman, Beachside Stag, Tomb Raider, Dragon Princess, Where are the Crystals, Earth, that's Riglia. And that'll be your actual, no, sorry, I didn't say that word. Actual missile peeps. And then, of course, after that, you just have this like random cleric. And then like arithmetic, I guess. Okay, random arithmetician as well. Okay, these are all random. Kodadama Wheeler. Wheeler. Oh, I'm not reading this. There. Okay, I'm stopping. But all these magic peeps who are not necessarily firing missiles, although I would love to say that Sweetheart Celir under Energist, she does have like a couple moves that are considered missile rangey stuffs. The other ones I can't speak to because, not my job. Anyway, look it up if those people are on your team and you want to put them in a comp, and if this card applies and it works, then great. But magic resistance and critical hit rate up is always great. Always, always great. You don't necessarily have to benefit from that missile. Alright, let's learn how to talk, but bestowed effects will be attack up 20%, accuracy up 8, and then of course I think if you slap this on Luartha, you'll get missile attack resistance piercing rate up 20, and area attack resistance up 10. So that's going to be great for her. There are definitely opportunities to use this in a comp. It isn't time limited though, so keep that in mind. And we're also kind of like sneaking into the anniversary here. So will this be a card that we can pull during the anniversary? Maybe not, because it's so new. And you can definitely get the shards, and I definitely suggest doing that, getting the shards, through Gil Summon and whatnot. But unless like this gunner extravaganza is on your mind, I think you can be a little bit cautious about spending your viz right now, because we don't know what they're going to throw at us and all that. This is going to be super great, super great. It's excellent, and missile is very high, and it's been high on ice teams as well, but ice teams also incorporate Eliza and Elia. So this one will not apply to Eliza, so that's something to keep up too, because on your ice team, Eliza's missile card does, and Eliza does work anyway. So things like random rainbow comps and things like that will be a great application for this card. So I don't know. Is it cool to pull? Gosh, man, stop putting me on the spot. And I know I put myself on the spot, so whatever. Sucks to be me. But I don't know. I'm gonna say it's not cool to pull because again, I'm bringing in, and I know I said this about Rulia last week, like the idea that like we don't know quite yet exactly like where things are gonna go from here on out, and the 140s are right around the corner, and we're gonna have to contend with that and like what that does and how that changes our party comps and whatnot. I think this is an excellent card. I do. But it should definitely be applicable to the team that you're planning to run. It shouldn't be some. I don't know. I don't know that I would recommend just pulling it to grab it right before the anniversary. I think like goodness gracious, sorry, not my fault, weirdo. All right, so sorry about that. Yeah, so I don't know. That is one thing there. And I know I didn't talk about this card last week, but whatever, deal with it. It's like an old card. Fire attack up, yay, cool to pull, no, because it's time limited. And I feel like Yuffie has a job card coming out, and then when Kefkin comes out, he's gonna get his own like a little magic fiery card or whatever. So I don't know, whatever. Stop bugging me about it. All right. Do we do it? I think we did it. Phew. All right. So I got through that. I'm going to have to do some editing, which I don't really want to do, but I guess I kind of have to do because I can't just throw this stupid muck of a video at you. So, all right. So that's that. And tell me what you're planning to do with, I guess, all these things and whatnot. But other than that, I guess, yeah, I would still ask if we can get like 1 or 2 more people in Grayskull. That would be fantastic, because it seems like people want to keep becoming dead. Like, I don't know why it's that way. It's like once you unload one dead body, somebody else decides they want to be the dead body. I don't know why dead bodies are contagious. That kind of worries me. I feel like maybe there's a disease going around, but don't worry, it will never land on me. Don't you worry. So, all right, cool. Let me know if you're grabbing up this card, or if you grabbed up the fire card, or what all you're excited about in terms of exciting things goes. And what else? Oof, I feel like I had something I really wanted to talk to you guys about. I can't think about it. I can't figure it out now. No, yeah, go do that porcelain tower if that's your thing. It's not my thing. And have fun with Luartha. And if you got people in your life that Luartha smug you, well, sorry for that. I deal with that all the time. Yeah. We have like a spam Luartha smugger hanging around. So I hope that is not happening for you. And okay, phew, I thought I lost the feed for a second. I guess I didn't. I don't know. All right, let's get out of here right now while I still can, and say thanks for hanging out, and as always, cheers.